I'm Madam Beatrice Waithaka, and I have come all the way from the US, from Washington, D.C. You know who lives there? Yes. Eh? What's the capital of the US? All right, I see some learned people here. All right, so I live out there in Washington, D.C. As you heard, let me bring back my Kenyan accent. I love you guys already. You're so much fun. Okay, attention. I am a rehabilitation counselor by profession, and for those who do not know what a rehabilitation counselor does, I work with high school students who have vision impairment. I also work with adults who have completed high school, and my main job is to help prepare people like you and I for employment. So we prepare you for employment by providing assistive technology training, so like computer training. We prepare you with the skills, and we teach you what to expect before you go out there to work. And that's part of what I'm going to be talking to you today, because I already know most of you are preparing to graduate from high school. I believe your exams are coming up, yeah? Yes. And so I think it's important for you all to know what to expect once you're out of the blue gates, yeah? Because the world out there does not really prepare you. And so it's important for us to talk about what to expect before you get out of this institution, right? So I want you guys to really concentrate the next few minutes. I'm not going to be long. So I want your attention, because the things that I'm going to share with you, a lot of these are from experience. As you heard before, Mimi, I'm also visually impaired. I did not go to school here in Thika School for the Blind, but Nilisomea, one of the integrated programs. Many of you know Kilimani Primary. Yes. That is where I was. I did my KCP over there. And then I went to Moi Girls School, Nairobi, which is also an integrated school. And I finished my KCSE. After that, I performed very well, and I actually got a scholarship at the University of Missouri in the United States. I did special education and taught for a little bit. Then I went back to school. I did my master's degree in rehabilitation counseling, and now I work for the government in Washington, D.C. So, being that I'm visually impaired, I believe that I'm in a good position to talk to you and tell you what are the things that helped me become successful. Now, the reality of life is that some of us will end up going all the way to the level of education I have, or even higher. But there are also some of us who will start businesses. We are all different. One of the reasons I wanted my team to introduce themselves is because you had diversity, yeah? There was a lot of diversity. Kuna engineer, kuna drivers, kuna students, there's a hairdresser, I'm a counselor, you know? Kuna speech therapist. So, one thing I want to tell you is that you become anything that you want to become. If you want to become a lawyer, you can become a lawyer. You just need to put your heart to it and make sure that you work hard. So let me give you a little bit of my testimony. And that way you can know where I am coming from. Now, I was not brought up in a very rich family. My parents were working class family, just average Kenyans. By the time I was going to school in the US, I actually did not have a scholarship. I got my scholarship once I got to the US. But there are some things that I implemented along the way that helped me in navigating the system in the US. So it's not easy, especially when you're coming from a different system, different education system, and going there and understanding the system. It was very different. So there are some of the things that I did that helped me become successful. And that's what I'm going to share with you today. What I'm going to share with you today are tips that you can implement, whether you're going to go into farming, whether you become a teacher, whether you become a lawyer, whether you become, whatever you want to become, a chef. These are tips that will help you to become successful. So like I explained to you earlier, I do prepare people for employment. And there are two types of skills that employers are looking for in the workplace. There's what we call hard skills. Hard skills are the training. Let's say you go to a polytechnic, you train as an engineer, you go to a university, you train as a teacher, or other skills that are called soft skills. Soft skills are things like good communication, how to work well as a team, how to network, how to have an enthusiastic attitude at work. Those are soft skills. Now, being that I work for the government, I can tell you firsthand that across the board, even now here in Kenya, what employers are looking for are the soft skills. You will be surprised that there are actually so many employers who are willing to work with you, even if you do not have the education. Maybe you came from a background where you are not able to afford going to college, but you have the skills that I'm going to talk about. There will be somebody out there who will notice you and they will give you an opportunity. Okay? So, some of you may be listening to me and wondering, okay, we have got a master's, but the sky is not limited for you because you do not have the resources. If you apply the skills that I'm going to talk to you about, one way or the other, God will make a way for you to succeed in the marketplace. And I'm going to refer you to the marketplace because not all of you will end up being employed, yeah? But if you're a farmer and you're selling milk, you're in the marketplace, right? If you're a lawyer and you're providing services to advocate for other people, you're in the marketplace, If you're a teacher, you're in the marketplace. If you're doing speech pathology, you're in the marketplace. Even for the people who are driving us here, they are in the marketplace because they are providing a service. The number one skill that I'm going to talk about is communication. If you do not hear anything else today, master this one. Good communication skills. And communication can be divided into verbal communication and non-verbal communication. Verbal communication is like what I'm doing right now. I am talking to you. I am speaking through my words, and you people are listening to me through words. But there's also another type of communication called non-verbal, and for us who are visually impaired, sometimes we are a little bit ignorant of it, partly because maybe we may not be able to see those people very well, or even see them at all. But they are watching us. Employers are watching our attitude. Are you rolling your eyes when you're talking? They are watching you. Are you looking on the floor when you're talking? Natural bumps on the floor. They are watching that. You want to have good communication skills because a good communicator, when an employer looks at it this way, if this person can communicate communicate well. They are an asset to my team. We are not going to lose profits when we have somebody who can communicate well. You know, if your job involves writing emails and giving feedback about what you have been doing, labda umekuwa unafanya assembly ama nini and you're supposed to give a report. Employers are looking for someone who can communicate well, okay? Now, the second one is teamwork. And let me tell you from experience, I have worked a few places now, and a lot of the jobs will require you to work well as a team. Now, more than likely, one way or the other, one place or the other, you will be working with people. In the world that we are living in right now, it is almost impossible to work in your own little world. Even if you're working as a person who works from home, you will find that at one point or the other, you may have to be on a Zoom meeting with people, right? So you have to work well with teams. Now, if you're the kind of person who's always arguing with people, never getting along, kila kitu tu ni arguments, let me tell you, they want to get rid of you. Even if you have 10 degrees, teams are what brings revenue. Because you find in a team, you have, say, someone with this particular skill, skill A, skill B, skill C, skill D. You put them together, they produce quality work. And quality is what gives revenue to companies. You understand what I mean by revenue, right? Yes. Profits. Companies, because these companies are out there, they exist because you're bringing something in there. A lot of times, in fact, employers are not so there are those people who will look at your disability and maybe dismiss you, but I'll talk to you about how you can turn that around for your benefit later. Okay? Now, number 3, networking. Can one of you tell me what you understand by network or networking with others? Come on, somebody. Take a guess. What is networking? Yes?
Being able to connect well with people.
Can you give him a hand? Percent of jobs nowadays are posted in companies. Only 20%. Most of the jobs out there, you will get them because you're relating with others. And a lot of times when we hear the word networking, we are thinking networking with big people. But you know, networking could even involve ukienda kunyolewa nywele, the kind of conversation you're having with the barber. The barber could be the person who will connect you to your job. So, when you're out there, let's say you've gone shopping and you have maybe somebody who's helping you at the shop, talk to them nicely. You never know. They may be the people who will connect you. Now, before I continue, Anne, you need to come on here, because I want Anne to give you a testimony about how she got her job. And her story will be very compelling. So,
hi guys. Hi. So far, are you good? Yes. Yeah, so personally, networking has helped me so much because I have worked in different companies, and for sure, the companies I've worked in, it's people who connected me. I could not find the job myself, but I had to relate well with people for me to get the jobs I have gotten. So, for example, everyone repeat after me. Your network is your network.
Your network is your network.
That is very true. For you to be able to relate well with people, for you to, you learn here in school how to relate well with people, kuongelesha watu vizuri, kuwatreat vizuri. You will need that skill outside here because you cannot do it by yourself. You need people to connect in different areas. You need to share contacts with different people. Yeah, and for example, let me give you an example. Maybe you're a teacher. Okay, let me give you an example of what I do. I sell houses. See, I will need people for me to sell those houses. Yes. I have to relate well with those people, those clients, my employers, because when my employer job, in the next project, ataniita. Ataniambia, come and do this and this. Si nimepata kazi? So you need to relate well with people, be good to people, and with that, and put God first. Yeah, with papers and good networking, you'll make it outside here. All the best.
So, Anne got her job because of how she related with people. She actually got her job last year, the job she's currently in. She talked to one person, huyo mtu akamwambia mimi natafuta job, huyo mtu akamconnect kwa mtu mwingine, and that other person went and talked to her current employer, and that's how she got her job. Her job was not advertised on the website. So do you see how networking can be of benefit to you? Yes. So you need to, when you're out there, especially when you do your exams and you're out there looking for a job, talk nicely with people, okay? Hi. The next one is enthusiasm. It's a big word. But let me break it down. Enthusiasm, the attitude, therefore. When you're talking with people, how is your energy level? You know, you'll be it's very interesting because there are people when they have a bad day in the morning, everybody that is around them that day, they will suffer because they get to work bad. Yeah? So, especially when you're dealing with customers, which most of our jobs that we are going to do, or the businesses we are going to do, we are going to be working with people. So, listen to this. I'm going to give two scenarios. Mimi ni mtu wa telephone operator, okay? Nimetoka home, niko very mad. Tumekosana na sisters wangu, so I come to work. Okay, Mr. Kadiara, come here. Let's do this real quick. So you're the other side. So you've called me, okay? Okay. Hello? Where are you going? Mr. Kadiara, where are you going? So unataka?
Ninataka kujua kama naweza pata kazi huko kwenu.
Kwani ungetafuta si ungeangalia kwa gazeti?
Hapana, nitaka tu nisaidie.
Kwani ungeangalia, ungeenda kwanza kwa website uangalie kwanza kama kuna job. Kuna job.
Oh, pole.
Sawa. Kuna kitu kingine?
Hakuna kitu kingine.
Sawa. Will that person ever call that line again? No. Okay, so let's do the second one. Come here. I want you to call me and I will be your customer service agent. I want you guys to listen, okay?
Hello, hi Beatrice.
This is Kenya Institute for Special Education. My name is Beatrice. Can I help you?
Yes, I was kindly asking if there's a job available there.
Yes, let me check and see. Okay, I do see we have some openings. So I'm going to refer you to the website. Please go there and put in your application, and somebody from our customer service department will get back to you. So the website is www.kise.ke.
Oh, thank you so much, Beatrice. You've really helped me so much.
Do you have any other questions or concerns?
No, I don't have any other questions.
Thank you so much for calling Kenya Institute for Special Education, and have a great day.
Have a good day too.
Which one did you guys like? See, that person will be encouraged to come back again and again and again. That is called having an enthusiastic attitude. Okay? Your attitude really matters. When you're out there looking for a job, looking for a scholarship, if you have started a business, come away in farmer, you know, some of you will be chefs, chakula. your customer service really matters, okay? All right. The next virtue is the above and beyond attitude. So where you not only just do what you have been told to do. You know, let's say you are a telephone operator. You go to the lunchroom, na watu wameacha makaratasi huko, pick them up, throw them for dustbin. It will not cost you anything, you know? Go above and beyond. And you will be so amazed that when you're a person who goes above and beyond, what people see that. So kama kulikuwa na promotion, unasikia kidogo kidogo promotiwa umekuwa supervisor. Okay? All right. So, I want to give you my testimony about how I turned around my disability into a strength. Because a lot of times when we see disability, we think, okay, I have a disability, what am I going to do? So, I'm going to tell you an experience I had with my job interview. So, you know, I work in the US, so a lot of the people interviewing me are white people. And so, confidence is something very important. Now, when I was applying for my job, I had just come from college. I did not have much experience. But what I did is I turned around my experiences. You know, I had done some volunteer work, I had taught, I had never been a counselor before. But even as they were asking me the questions, I told them, you know what? I have worked as a teacher before, so I have skills that will enable me to work well with others. I have great customer service skills. I will give them examples about how I served other people who have, you know, with outstanding customer service. I know how to use technology, you know, like speech software that we use, especially as blind individuals. Some of us know how to use speech software on a computer. So tell them, I'm able to navigate the computer using my speech software. So what that employer says is somebody who is able to turn around there, you're teaching them a different way of looking at your disability. Because you're basically able to do things in a different way, okay? So have the confidence. You'll find a lot of people who question your disability. A lot of them it's because they are very ignorant or they've never been around somebody who has your type of disability. So a lot of times they're thinking, when they see you, they might just think, okay, sasa huyu haoni vizuri, sasa atafanya nini? But tell them there are things that you can do. And if you apply those skills, like I was telling you, be a person who goes above and beyond. Come on, to a job interview. Please don't go in jeans, na t-shirt. Please, don't wear that. Look for some nice shirt. Look clean. Take a shower. Useme ati tulishower jana. Sasa naenda tu asubuhi hivyo. But at least you took a shower in the morning before you went for the interview. You know, wear a nice, kama uko na white shirt, maybe a black trouser or a black skirt. You know, wear formal. Don't go saggy, sijui for that shower, you know, those things are not appealing. So, those are just a few things. I believe in the coming days when I'm back, I will come with a team and hopefully we'll not come around the exam side. We can do a whole workshop on these skills. And we'll teach you guys more and prepare you more. I'm so glad that you have Form 3s and Form 4s here. You guys will succeed. Okay? You guys will succeed. Some of you will be politicians. I think we have future presidents, future governors, future MPs, future lawyers, future chefs. It will be here. Even photographers. Who said the applying person cannot do photography? Hey, future DJs. like you just have a few more weeks, maybe your grades have not been looking good, it's never too late. It is never too late. Go through those revision papers. Do you guys still do the going back through the past papers? Yeah, go through those questions. Na msifeel vibaya ati tu COVID, sijui nini mwenye classes. It doesn't matter. There's still hope. Okay? There's still hope for you to do great. Now this is the time when I energize. My Kikuyu self is coming out. Energize yourself. Mtie bidii, jiamini. You know? Jiamini, jiambie. You know what? This is the last few weeks, my last few days before I do those exams. Study, study, study. Sacrifice, maraha mingi, mastori mingi. Right now, this is the time to give it your all, your everything. Study, study, study. And I tell you, God has great plans for you. I love a scripture in Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11. The Bible says that, for I know the plans that I have for you. Plans of good, not to harm you. Plans of prosperity, to give you a hope and a future. And that's the word that I want to leave with you today. If I could make it, any of you can make it. Okay? So work hard and keep positive. For some of you never know what is out there. Let me give you one more testimony before I'm done. So I am also an author of a book called Finding Victory Despite the Challenge. I wrote this book at a time when people were asking me very weird questions. When they were weird. Did you dream? Wanaulizanga mtu maswali weird that in Africa, do people will just sleep with lions? You know, So I wrote this book to encourage people with disabilities, people without disabilities. I do not have the books here, but let me tell you the reason why I told you this. So I wrote my book and I posted it on Facebook, and I would take pieces of what I have written on the book and I would post them on Facebook just to encourage people. Your time by this a job. It took me 1 whole year after graduating from my master's program to get a job. So I was just in the house, just praying and trusting God, and I was putting out information. I would write things like persistence, do not give up. God has a good plan for you. Disability is not even inability. And I would post those things on the internet. And on the Facebook, somebody wrote to me from Washington, D.C., somebody I had never met. And they said, I saw some very inspiring something you had posted on Facebook. And I'm a manager in this particular organization, and we are looking for people like you. I see you're a rehabilitation counselor, give me a call. I called this person. When I saw that message, I could not wait for morning. When I joined the message on the midnight and you're working, you're counting hours until morning. That was me. And I called this person who is now turned out to be my manager. And akaniambia, you know, beyond being a rehabilitation counselor, I love how you're using your social media to write things that are positive, things that are building others, and we are looking for somebody like you. Now, the state I was living in at the time is California, which is like Kenya and Ghana, Bali, you know? And so, I'm like, this person saw me from here, like how do we even move there? How do I go to Washington, D.C.? And I told this person, you know, I have this and these skills, and they asked me for my resume. I had my resume ready. People, when you get out of this place, have your resume ready. Equal to intact. If you've done some volunteer work, put it on there, you know? Kama unataka skill. Some of you, I heard you guys singing. I hope I'll get to hear you people singing again.
Yes.
I put all my skills there. I didn't even have much. But hata wako wanashughulika na vitu kama hizo. They paid for my air ticket. I went for the job and I got employed by the government. Just some simple girl from Kiambu got a job with the US government. And it's because of the kind of things that I'm putting out there on the social media. Now I know some of you on Facebook, the question is, what are you putting on your Facebook? My feet are guilty as charged. So, when you're talking to people, be positive. Give good vibes, you know? Let people see positivity out of you. Speak love. Speak patience. Speak kindness. You know, speak a good attitude. And you will be amazed what that will do for you. And I got the job just like that. There are many people who had applied for that job. Actually, I heard there was 300 people who had applied for that job. But I got the job. So, I'm just telling you all these testimonies to encourage you. You don't have to have come from, you know, Thika family, a Trump. You know, I don't come from a rich family or whatever, but God has been good to me. And, you know, the Bible tells us to walk in wisdom. So the information that I'm providing you today is information that will help you succeed. And this is wisdom, okay?
Yes.
So, hopefully next time, kitukaribisha tena, tutakuja. I'll come actually with a team from the US. I have a big team that's been wanting to come. I just had to come and make the way fast. And God will bless you. So, my parting shot. You have everything it takes. If you forget everything else, nimesema, you have everything it takes to succeed. You have everything it takes to have a victorious life. You have everything it takes to be a leader. You have greatness in you, okay?
Yeah.
Do not let anybody intimidate you out there. Some of you only have a few more weeks before you get out of this place. Yeah? Yeah. I'm quite excited for God. Yeah? You just have a few weeks, but when you go out there, my hope and my prayer is that your character will shine for you. And the Bible says, but do not be afraid to show your talent. Do not be afraid. Whether you go to church, go sing and sing. You never know. In fact, there's a scripture that says that your gift will make a way for you before kings. Your gift. So don't be shy. Sing away. If you know how to dance, dance away. If you know how to cook, cook for people. You never know who will see your talent and give you a chance, okay? So God bless you, and I love you all, and I'll be back.